Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to the Happiness Growth Podcast, and you are listening to Riri Okoye. This is episode 6, and we're going to be discussing happiness and relationships. Can relationships help improve your happiness and well being? Let's discuss. Well, first of all, I would say that toxic relationships don't help your happiness and well-being. So we're not really even going to talk about toxic relationships today. We're going to be talking about healthy ones. For the purpose of today's podcast, I'm going to be focusing on healthy relationships. Now, let me tell you something. There are 7 habits that can increase your happiness. Close relationships, acts of kindness, physical well-being, flow, strengths, positive mindset, and meaning, i.e., purpose. And for the purpose of this podcast, as I said, we're going to be talking about close relationships. Do you know that a study from the University of Illinois states that 10% of personal happiness has strong ties to friends and family that are committed to spending time with one another? And there have been key discoveries. People who have one or more close friendships appear happier. Sometimes I see it on social media. Everybody says to themselves, I can't even count my friends on one hand. I don't even have any friends. But if you have a close friend, you will be happier. Sharing personal feelings plays a major role in the relief of stress and depression. But a lot of people say, I don't want to share because I don't trust people. So you have people walking around with a lot of burden because they just don't have anybody to share their feelings with. But in essence, sharing your feeling relieves a lot. And I know that for one, because I'm always sharing. Okay? Listening carefully and responding in encouraging ways is very effective to cultivating positive emotions and deepening relationships. Now, I'll tell you a story about myself. For those of you that may or may not know, I'm a dual citizen. I was born in the UK, went back and forth to Nigeria in my young childhood, and at the age of 11, I relocated to Owerri, Nigeria, and I spent 4 years there in secondary school. Then I came back to the UK. Then I spent most of what I thought was going to be the rest of my life in London until one day my husband said to me, Riri, we're packing up, we're going back to Nigeria, and we're going to make Nigeria great again. And I said to my husband, wait a minute, that was not in our contract. You never told me this when we got married in 1999. But anyway, after much convincing, I did relocate back with him in 2008, and I found myself in Lagos, Nigeria for 14 years. Now, during that season, I struggled. Not all through the season, but in the early years. And what was my struggle? Finding and building close relationships. Because as you can imagine, in the UK, I had cultivated so many different relationships from secondary school to university to people that I went to work with, my in-laws, just so many different relationships I had. And these were close, loving relationships. So there I was in my late 30s, coming into Lagos and having my arms wide open and saying, hey, I'm here. But the thing is, looking back now, maybe I was impatient. I just wanted friends. And guess what? The perception was that Rita was needy. But Riri wasn't needy. Riri wanted friendships. And sometimes because I wanted these close friendships, it did appear that I was, in inverted commas, needy. And, I would go to a lot of networking events. I would go to Awambes. I was an event planner, so I was very social, but there was some gap because I would go to all these events and everybody, all the ladies that I was meeting. Everybody was like fired up. We've got this. We're champions. We can do this. And sometimes I just wanted to say, hey, ladies, I'm scared, But anyway, eventually, I found my tribe. I found close friends that were like me, like minds, that were closely connected to me, that wanted to talk to me about their struggles and what they were going through, and that life was not all ha ha he he. And I said to myself, I've got friends. And I'm telling you, you know yourselves. These are my friends for life. I just love them. We connect on such a emotional level. And I know that just like the friends that I left when I relocated to Nigeria, these friends that I made in Lagos are going to be my friends for life. So one of the secrets to Riri being on top of the world, as it seems, not always on top of the world, but happy, is because of my close connections. And you even see that in the village, don't you? You see women, they have their friends in the village and they can talk to them. Because guess what? And my husband has always said it to me, even though we've been married for a long time. My husband can, when you talk to women, it's not always about solving your problems, is it? You just want to talk. You just want to let things out. So my husband, back then, when I was looking for these friends and I was coming across as needy and I would want to talk to my husband, he would say to me, Riri, I am not a woman. So I knew that I had to find my close friends, okay? So Dina and Selgerman in 2002 said that people with strong ties to friends and family and committed to spending time with them, guess what? Have the highest level of well-being. In order to feel close to people requires an amount of self-disclosure and a willingness to reveal one's personal issues and feelings. If not, you can still be lonely. Isn't that something? And that was what I was struggling with back then in Lagos, that I was going to all these events. I was out there appearing as if I had a great time, but I was lonely. Anyway, you have to, if you want these close relationships, there are certain things that you need to do in order for them to be successful. You have to be a good communicator, okay? You have to be good and supportive. You have to have that ability to listen carefully to understand. Another important thing is seeing from another person's perspective. And that is why I find that a lot of the times, maybe people don't want to get close to other people because they feel that people don't understand them. Also, listening without judgment. And then being open to change. Because guess what? It's not always your way or the highway. Everybody, this world is full of opinions. This world is, the way I grew up, my experiences are very unique and different from my friends. And we all have to be open to listening to other people's perspective. And on that note, I would like to just shout out to all my different groups of sister friends, of which I have many. And it's a blessing. And I'm so grateful for all of you that put up with me. I know you don't really put up with me. I just said that. Anyway, so there you have it. It's so important. If you want to maintain or if you want to improve your well-being and happiness, close relationships matter. And on that note, we have reached the end of this podcast today, episode 6, and I look forward to speaking to you again. Have a great and happy day. Take care and stay blessed. Bye for now. I'm out of here. Once again, it's Riri Okoye. Ciao.